What's up, all you Gamecock conspiracy theorists? Shame on you. Shame on you for lying on our offensive coordinator, Mike Shula. Shame on you. You just made it up. I don't know where the conspiracy comes from, per Shane Beamer. I love conspiracy theories, too. Y'all want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. Wait just a minute. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about conspiracy theories. There's a conspiracy theory that Lanorris Sellers may not play this weekend. Yeah, did y'all hear about that? If he doesn't practice Tuesday or Wednesday, Lanorris will not play this weekend. Who's calling bullshit on that? I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't give a damn. He might not start the game. Just to prove a point that we may run Doty out there for a couple plays. But there's no way you're sitting Lanorris Sellers if he's eligible to play come Saturday. There's no way. Not and think you're going to win this football game. We're running the same plays as last year. Does anyone besides me think that's a conspiracy? Is Shane Beamer starting to become a coach that's full of shit? I'm asking you guys. He's keeping things tight to the vest. Some of the things he says doesn't make sense. Gamecock fans has gone out and created a conspiracy that we changed our offense from last year. We're running the same plays as last year. I don't know, maybe, but we're averaging 100 yards less a game. Last year we averaged 407. Right now we're averaging about, 309 or something like that, a little over 300. Almost 100 yards. Has anyone remember and think back to last year? Can you remember some of the formations we're running right now and what we're doing look like what we were doing last year? I mean, we didn't set the world on fire on offense last year. So we're running the same thing, but we're expecting different results. The offense should be better this year. But you're running the same plays. Do you not think a lot of the teams that we played last year, that now we're getting ready to get back into our SEC schedule, which is the same teams we played last year, just switch the location? Didn't pick up on what we were doing offensively last year. They're not keying on anything. They're not picking up tendencies. Considering we have coaches that do that ourselves, that go out and look for tendencies with other football teams. I mean, why did Vandy smoke us this year versus us being able to kick the crap out of them last year? They totally changed their offense. They're running a triple option offense. Now, I'm not talking about 3 running backs and a quarterback and all this shit trying to run the ball with triple option running game. Their triple option is Diego Pavia has a choice at the snap of the ball, whether he hands it off of his read, he keeps it, or he throws the ball to a wide receiver, depending on what his key is on defense. Do we have tendencies on defense? Maybe. Let's get back to the conspiracy thing for a moment. We all know, look, I love black helicopter stories, aliens, Area 51, Bigfoot still exists. And we talked about this about Tennessee accusing South Carolina to cheat. Conspiracy theory, the Connor Italian thing, right? And we laughed at Tennessee about the conspiracy theory. So right now I'm going to laugh at Shane Beamer. The fans created this conspiracy. Or someone created this conspiracy that we're doing things differently on offense. I think, Shane, that you need to go back and listen to press conferences with your offense coordinator. Because in his press conference, he mentioned... what was that he mentioned? Y'all remember? I think I remember. Let's see if I can get this correct. There were plays where Lanorris ran the ball last year where he could have thrown it. We're going to try to teach him to throw the ball in those situations instead of looking down the field, deciding too quickly, and taking off running. That sounds like you're trying to keep a guy in the pocket. On Saturday, when Lanorris ran out of the pocket, threw the pass to Dingle, this type of stuff. That is when Lanorris is at his best. Does anyone disagree with that? Is there some kind of conspiracy that I'm creating by saying that was really his best-looking pass? When he ran out of the pocket and threw the ball down to Dingle. I don't know. I'm not trying to create a conspiracy about it, but he was out of the pocket. We moved the pocket. Made a good throw on the run. Positive yards. Best throw, in my opinion. Now, that's my opinion. Y'all may say he had something better. Is Lanorris playing this weekend against Missouri? And we're going to do Missouri. Well, I'm going to do a good breakdown of Missouri, and we'll look at Missouri and talk about Missouri. Missouri run the same offense too, right? Hey, they got good players. They run their offense. They do what they do. But us, we're trying to run the same plays as last year, and it ain't working. It ain't working, y'all. So do you think we might need to change some things if what we're doing is not working? What's the old saying about insanity? Continue to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Now, Beamer says we're going to make changes this week. Are we? Well, one is you're not going to set Lanorris Sellers if he's cleared to play on Saturday. That's a fact, Jack. You are not taking a chance of losing this football game by having Luke Doty in this whole football game to prove a point that if a guy gets injured and doesn't practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, he ain't playing on Saturday. We already know that's not true because we know we had guys that were injured last year that were limited in practice and really couldn't practice that played in football games coming off their injury. This is where the full of shit gets me upset. This is not the same offense as last year. Well, maybe some of the same plays. Maybe Shula just don't have a feel. He has anxiety and he doesn't have a feel for a flow of a game to anything outside of a scripted drive to get a good flow going. Now, I admit, we've had a few drives. Here and there, sporadic, inconsistent. Few drives. Yeah, second drive, that was Lone Lanorris. Threw to the wrong player, didn't get enough air under the ball, intercepted. We stopped him, though. It wasn't a sacrifice. We sacrificed 7 points, but we didn't sacrifice 14 by letting them drive down the field and score. Luke Doty cannot run a Lanorris Sellers offense. And we try to tell ourselves, and we look back to last year and look at comparison. Could Robbie Ashford do what Lanorris Sellers could do? Legs-wise, yes, but Robbie could not make the throws that Lanorris could make. And we saw that come to fruition in the second half of the LSU game. Now, Robbie looked great against Akron the following week and put up all kinds of shit. But it was Akron, dude. But comparing skill sets, Luke Doty can't do what Lanorris does. Luke Doty's not going to break tackles like Lanorris does. Luke Doty can't throw the ball. If Luke Doty could throw the ball like Lanorris did, Luke Doty would be the one starting every game, and the NFL scouts are drooling over. Let's just face that fact. And people will say, well, yeah, with your backup, you're going to lose production. Not, of course, but you're trying to run the same plays with him when he doesn't have the skill set for those plays. Tell me I'm wrong. Y'all can tell me I'm an idiot. The offense has to stay consistent. Aaron Nolan's skill set is closer to Lanorris Sellers than Luke Doty's. Not trying to beat up on Luke Doty. I love him to death, just like the Carrion Joner and the Gamecocks that have stuck it out for years and are all Gamecock. Luke Doty's not that guy, and you're not going to beat Missouri with him. And I want to talk about Luke Doty. And something that Luke said. So we take into mind that Lanorris is not practicing. That's what we're guessing, right? Because really Shane Beamer won't tell us. He won't say nothing. Another full of shit is today is Tuesday. And Shane Beamer really don't have an update on where Lanorris Sellers is as far as injury. What his injury is or no update on it. You're the head coach. That is your best football player. Now I get it. Maybe you don't want to say it. Just say that. Instead of telling us you don't have an update or any information on it, just say, hey, we're working on his injury. What's going on with him? We will update you when we have more information. Don't sit there and tell me you don't know. Because if you're telling me you don't know, you're a blind-ass coach. That you don't know the status of your best football player? I have to raise an eyebrow on that. But anyway, Luke Doty kind of confirmed to me that I think Sellers practicing. Question was asked to Luke Doty in his press conference. How's the snaps being divided? This is where the kids don't catch the trap sometimes of reporters, right? How's the snaps being spread out? Well, we're all getting about the same amount of snaps. So when you have Lanorris in, Luke, you're still getting the same amount of snaps as when Lanorris is getting snaps. But that's my conspiracy. That is a conspiracy theory you just created by Rooster. My conspiracy theory is that Sellers is out on the field. I think this is a strategy. This is a strategy against. So Missouri has to look at 2 quarterbacks, maybe 3. Yeah, I don't know. You can't really look at Cutter Woods or. I mean, if you want to watch Aaron Nolan just hand the ball off, you can go do that. Maybe Missouri can pick up. Hey, this guy's really good at handing the football off. Take the snap, hold it in the belly of the running back, let him go. He's really good at that. Got some film on that. And I get it. You don't give your game plan away. I understand it. But I'm just saying, this is where sometimes there's a trap laid by a reporter, and I think Luke ran into it. He ran into it by saying we're getting the same amount of snaps. There's no way you're getting the same amount of snaps if Lanorris is out. You would have to get more snaps if Lanorris was practicing. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe Missouri they're out here scouting my channel to figure out what's going on. But I feel bad for Missouri if they are. Drink, if you're listening to this, you suck. Just kidding. I don't know. He's just weird. Nobody. Hell, I don't know. I don't hate nobody, but yeah, they still suck. Anyway, that's just kind of a conspiracy theory thing. I'm trying to be funny, y'all. I don't want to be so serious and so angry about last week. We're moving on to Missouri. Now, can this be a Beamer game? Sure it can, and that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow when we start talking about Missouri. But I hate calling my coach out. But the conspiracy thing, we made it up. No, we didn't. We didn't, Shane. And I would tell you to your face, go back and listen to your offensive coordinator's press conferences. And we're not idiots. Long-time football watchers, ball knowers, great listeners. We hear it. We've heard it. We didn't just make it up out of the blue. You also have hired 3 NFL offensive coordinators. So we know you're trying to make him a pocket passer. The question has been there about getting him prepared for the NFL and having conversations. This is all on your offensive coordinator. Nobody conspiracy theory that. Shane. Nobody. But anyway, I just don't want to get too fired up today. I could. But I do appreciate you guys have made my channel amazing. It's blowing up. It's growing like hotcakes. And I'm going to tell you the truth on what I hear. Now, my truth ain't everybody else's truth. My truth is what my understanding of what I'm being told by coaches, players, what I listen to, what I see on the field. People that are running around saying, well, we're ready to throw the whole thing away and Mike Shula over 1 game against Vanderbilt. No, we ain't. This is 4 games. I didn't make a determination on Mike Shula by just saying, well, we sucked against Vanderbilt. His play calling was awful. No, we've been talking about it through the first 3 games. And you go back to Illinois, it was terrible in that game. That's 4. We scored 58 points in 4 games under Mike Shula as offensive coordinator. I don't know if you know the difference between a reaction to 1 game and a resume of at least now 4 games. I think South Carolina fans have been very patient with wanting to see something different. But obviously now we know we're running the same plays, y'all, so don't expect to see nothing different. We're probably going to Mizzou and get our tail kicked in, but we'll look at it a little better tomorrow. Y'all return back, but don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share these videos out. I definitely appreciate it. Peace, y'all.